You know, a lot of these individuals who are anti-mask are extremely racist. They are very racist people. Let me bring your attention to a mask mandate drama that unfolded in Michigan, okay? This is Birmingham, Michigan, not Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham, Michigan. The police are investigating where a man who gave the Nazi salute during a school meeting committed a hate crime. The meeting was already filled with anti-maskers who booed and spewed insults at anyone in favor of the mask mandate. You know who they did not boo? This guy. They didn't boo him. The Nazi guy. No, he gets no boos at all. He gets praised, okay? While a black woman and Jewish woman were addressing the board about their support for the mask policy, a man in the audience flashed the Nazi salute and repeated Heil Hitler. Two men behind him also uttered the phrase. They're supporting him, okay? Suzanne Besdiker attended the meeting and witnessed the incident. She said a friend was giving a speech in support of a school mask mandate about how she had lost a loved one to COVID-19. Very familiar story to many. The friend had already been heckled through her emotional speech. When Besdiker and the friend turned to leave the podium, they saw the gesture from a man standing in the audience. Suzanne said, and I quote, "And there was this man that raised his hand in the Heil Hitler sign, not just kind of froze. I'm Jewish. I don't take that lightly. It's now under investigation whether he committed a hate crime. The person in the audience who gave the salute on Tuesday night was immediately removed from the meeting and building by the Beverly Hills Police Department. The police questioned the man during the meeting and are investigating whether he committed a hate crime. In a letter to parents, the superintendent said that the Birmingham Public Schools emphatically denounces and will not tolerate any act of racism, disrespect, violence, and or inequitable treatment of any person, including actions and statements made at Board of Education meetings. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, this is not an isolated situation. This is common with these anti-mask, anti-vax crowds. In a town outside of Pittsburgh on August 9th, a man there flashed a Nazi salute after board members approved a universal mask mandate, according to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Now, here's a compilation video of statements from anti-masked parents that always receive applause.
BPS has decided to mask up our children, but once again, your announcement has fallen short of providing evidence, data, which we have continuously asked for, science, common sense, and now human decency. Forced mask mandates for something that has an almost 0% chance of killing them is child abuse. So I have to ask, why are you really doing this? It's not to protect our kids, they don't need it. It's not to protect adults because they can get a COVID vaccine if they want to. And many of us have the antibodies. So what is the reason? If you ask me, I'd say you do it to protect yourselves politically, period.
When's it gonna end?
Never.
Our children will never see the freedoms that we enjoyed growing up. They are not even free to breathe fresh air. If God wanted us to cover our mouth and nose, he would have made us that way.
My daughter will not be subjected to what she was to last year. Our daughter is healing, and we will not interrupt this process for her. We will be, because of the mandate, pulling her out of BPS schools. I don't know if any of you were abused or put in a situation you did not want to be in as a child, either emotionally, physically, or mentally, but I was. And it took me years to recover. I know Josephine's story may be the only one you hear tonight, but I wonder how many other students are suffering in silence.
Yeah, ma'am, your child is suffering under you. Abuse? Child abuse. You gotta be kidding me. There are real monsters in this world. And there are real victims in this world. Having a child wear a mask in order to protect themselves from a debilitating virus is not child abuse. You invalidate, or at least attempt to invalidate, the stories, the authentic stories of children that have gone through actual abuse. That's what you're doing. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, these are the same people. These anti-mask individuals are the same people who would prefer to take your choice away. Remember, they're not just holding rallies and talking at board meetings. They're ripping off masks of teachers. They're physically assaulting those that wear masks. They're threatening on camera in anyone who believes that masks work. David, you see what's happening here, brother. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are it's sickening if these are parents, right? And I'll start with the low-hanging fruit. There was the mom who said, if God wanted us, if God had made us, if God wanted us to have something over our face, he would have made us that way. And she's speaking with glasses on, and she's speaking through a microphone, okay? So that's the first problem. Secondly, the whole point, as far as I can tell from some of these anti-maskers, is they don't want to cause any emotional or psychological damage to their kids having to wear masks. Okay. Did you ask the kids if it's okay? Because most kids who are in elementary school, they don't have a problem with it. And by the way, if we're so concerned about emotional and psychological damage, then maybe you shouldn't be giving the Heil Hitler salute. Maybe you shouldn't be making such a fool of yourself in front of your kids and in front of your entire community. That is where the psychological damage is being caused by these parents who are anti-science, by these parents who are literally off the charts. These kids are so terrified and embarrassed of their parents. That's where the damage is being caused. It's not the masks. And at a certain point, the parents need to step back and say, fine, you have an opinion about this? Let's have a calm, rational, reasonable, fact-based, science-based debate, if there is a debate. But to go off the deep end like this, that is truly sickening and disturbing.
Very well said, brother.